All right, we're live. We're happening. Coffee with Casper is about to begin in 1 minute. We're glad you're here. Let me know where you are. Say hello. All right. Nice to see everybody this morning. Here's the Casper. He wants to come up and say hello. Hope you have a good morning from Palm Desert, Candace. Nice job finally on the poster. Good job. All right. Here's the Casper. We're getting in the shot. Get in the shot. There you go. You're out of the shot. There you go. There you go. Let me know where you're in. Candace is in from Palm Desert. Good to see everybody this morning. Got 1 minute. We're going to gong ourselves in. We're about to begin Coffee with Casper. Here's my beverage of choice here. Good morning from South Carolina, Becky. Nice to see you this morning. All right. The gang is checking in. It's Tuesday. It's Coffee with Casper. We need a theme song. All right. Well, there's 8:30. Let's gong ourselves in. We'll see who else is coming along to join us. All right, we're going to take a big, deep breath in, remembering right now that the link, good morning from Oklahoma, Margaret, the link between ourselves and our eternal nature is the breath. And what is being suggested now is in this time of transition, the big time of transformation that we are ushering in, you and I as light workers, the deal is to remember to breathe that holy breath. And what makes it holy is you're becoming conscious of it, right? So we're going to take a big deep breath in. We're going to let out the sound ah as we relax our bodies and become present. Here we go. Big deep breath in. Remembering I am that I am, and I am one with the I am consciousness of everyone on the planet. And everyone is getting the opportunity to wake up. Good morning from British Columbia, Pam. Nice to see you this morning. Okay, here we go. Another big deep breath in. Let out the sound ah, relaxing the shoulders. And now bring that energy into your heart center. And knowing that all of us, good morning, Reverend Angelica Jane from Eureka. She has found it. Angelica Jane is posting, if you've seen on Facebook, affirmations about peace, which is certainly necessary in our time. So thank you, Angelica, for sharing that with the world. All right, so here we are. It's the second day of Passover, so we're sending love to our Jewish friends. We're sending love and peace to the Middle East, knowing that every tradition is just showing, as Desmond Tutu said, just shows us the grandeur of God. All the different traditions are just showing us the immensity of that which is creator, that which is source, and that which belongs to all. And you and I are in the midst of of doing something very important. If you saw the poster, we quoted the Reverend Mary Baker Eddy, who was the founder of Christian Science. And we've talked about it here before on Coffee with Casper. Christian Science is part of the New Thought tradition. They burst into the scene because there were a lot of Christians trying to understand the universality of Christianity in a new way. And they grew the fastest. And then they, because of their own particular, the book called Science and Health, written by Mary Baker Eddy, believed that that was a gospel. The book, The Science of Mind, was written to form by Ernest Holmes to form the Church of Religious Science, and was never considered a gospel, but rather a starting point from which to continue to move these ideas of universal awareness and universal belonging. And what we here on Coffee with Casper. Good morning, Pam. Nice to see you. Good morning, Arlen from San Clemente. So we got some beautiful spots on the planet all checking in with us today. People who are living in beautiful spots on the planet. So what we know is that her writing is within the realm of New Thought, which is simply rethinking David Hawkins, Dr. David Hawkins. He wrote a book called Power versus Force, and in that he invented a scale called the Hawkins scale which goes from 0 to 1,000. And the only people who had the highest level of 1,000 were Jesus and Buddha in the history of humankind. Obviously, there have been saints and sages and mystics and prophets who would vibrate very high. As the call that Ernest Holmes put in his book, The Science of Mind, is these lessons are dedicated to that truth that frees man from himself, that enables him to see through the mist into the eternal and changeless reality. And that's what you and I are doing, is we are being the place that is seeing through the illusion created by humanity of separation. Separation means that instead of running ourselves from the law of the cosmos, which is love, we run ourselves from the law of the ego, which is power. And that's not how the system of eternality is existed in power. It exists through love. And in truth, love is the actual cosmic force of the universe. And when we realize that love is universal, that the impulsion of creation itself is love, that it created consciousness as self-conscious consciousness, which is you and me, so that we could be a place where God was becoming aware of itself and where God could place God in its own vibration. So meaning you and I are the awareness where humanity, hey, Reginald, welcome from Arizona. Good morning from Whittier, Carol, nice to see you. We are the place where God is becoming aware of itself as us, right? And the more we know ourselves as universal beings, and the more we draw on that which is the I am that I am. God said, let there be Harry, and there is Harry. God said, let there be Reginald, and God said, let there be Carol and Carl and Pam and all of the souls that are here on Coffee with Casper and all who will ever see it. God said, let there be you, and I am. And that I am consciousness belongs to everyone, and not everyone is aware of it. So what we know is that we are the place where light is being brought into the world from the place where it is needed, which is here and now, from you and I. So Reverend Angelica's peace affirmations are the place where we are the place that needs to bring peace into the heart of humanity, the heart of race consciousness. Clarifying our consciousness is not against race consciousness. And remember, we shared last week that thought from Ken Wilber, that if we're going to look at all the divisiveness in the world, and particularly here in the United States, where it's an election year and there are big polarities, we are the ones who must see through that. And even though we think our political position is correct no matter what it is, we need to know that the only position we can have regarding somebody with a different position is compassion. Because what we want is peace on earth and goodwill toward all humanity and the earth. We want an awakened humanity. So we're not fighting the race mind. We are consciously supporting the transmutation, the changing of the race mind into a higher order. And the good news is for you and me is we don't have to create that higher order. That higher order exists. We need to rise up to it. And that's my wonderful friend and teacher, the late Dr. Dan Morgan, used to say, the only thing you cannot have is that which you cannot embody. So we need to be the place where peace is being embodied. We need to be the place where we pause and take that holy breath, knowing that that holy breath is the direct connection to Spirit, that we are literally being breathed into life by Spirit itself, into this dimension by Spirit itself, through that connection of the holy breath. And the more we remember, so perhaps in your meditation practice, you focus on your breath, you become aware of that breath moving in and out of you, and then we become aware that it's a holy breath, and that holy breath is restoring and rejuvenating and revitalizing us in wonderful ways when we remember to take it, to separate ourselves from the race mind, again, not as a fight against it, but as a place where we are transmuting it. We are vibing into it to raise it up. The higher my vibration, the higher I am lifted up, as the Master Teacher said, if I be lifted up, all shall be drawn unto me. So the more we lift ourselves by means of our communion with the I Am presence, I am that I am, the more we lift ourselves by means of that communion, right, the higher we're vibrating, and the more we can be a place of peace and transmutation and transformation in the world. And that's what we want to be, a place where we are relying. So it's very challenging because here we are in the midst of this human condition. Humans are fighting each other. Humans are being violent for what appears to be no particular reason. Humans are falling into righteous self-indignation, and then instead of coming from a compassionate place about differences, we become from a power place, and we want to enter into war and violence. We're going backwards when we participate that way. And the same thing is when we have fear over our health, or we have fear over our finances, or we have fear over aging, fear from separation. Hey, good morning, Dave. Nice to see you and Loretta this morning. Hope you had a great birthday week, Loretta. So we are the place where it is our practice, our daily practice, and therefore our daily presence in the world that is vibrating up, that is calling the vibration up, calling ourselves up, and then as we do that, knowing everyone has the same I am presence, and everyone can rise up into that same place. Next week, the first Thursday of May here in the United States, according to a law signed in by President Truman, is the National Day of Prayer. And the Day of Prayer this next week, the theme is lift up the world, light up the world. Lift up the world, light up the world. Now, when you look at the work that we do here on Coffee with Casper, which is teaching us, reminding us each day that we are a place that can tolerate more and more light, that you and I are a place where we're learning to embody more and more light by rising up into that which is the positive vibration that we feel, love and gratitude and joy and beauty and appreciation, by focusing on those things, and faith. What's the word faith? It was we took to the idea of Dr. Holmes, who said we need to not look to the future with uncertainty, but we need to focus instead on the divine goodness and the loving kindness and the loving givingness of God to life, right? Of source to life. We need to focus that we are the beneficiaries of the great gift of creation, of the law of the circle from which we are connected. And then when we know that the law of circle is what is coming from me vibrationally in terms of my thoughts, feelings, words, actions, and deeds, what's coming from me vibrationally is returning to me as the multiple dimensions of my own experience. And then so we separate ourselves from the race, not because we're against the race mind, but because it has misunderstood the laws of creation. It has misunderstood the idea of individuality to believe that we are separate, as opposed to each one being a unique flower in the field of what is humanity, right? And the more we turn to the I am self, the more that flower, the uniqueness of who and what we are, vibrates in tune with the infinite and sheds more light, and then the flower field itself becomes more beautiful, because we are consciously participating in the transmutation of the race consciousness into a higher order of being. As we have shared many times, Judge Thomas Troward said, harmony is heaven's first law. Harmony must be the nature of which the cosmos continues to exist, because it exists forever. So nothing can rise up against it to destroy it. So the higher order is harmony. Now, humanity is not participating in harmony, although just a few weeks ago, how many millions of souls on the planet were all gazing in awe and wonder at the solar eclipse, which was simply an event in nature, in this case in the skies, that remind us of the interconnectedness of all things. That the movement of the sun and the planets and the way that light shines in the world is part of the harmony of all life. It's part of the greater good. And yet, isn't it fun that we have now, for those of you who have iPhones, isn't it fun that, like, all of a sudden from your pictures, something from 5 years ago will show up of some event you had a great time at, or some loving event with your family or friends or beloveds, and you go, oh, I remember how great that was. Well, I had the opportunity just a couple weeks ago to go see the wonderful tribute to Jimmy Buffett that was at the Hollywood Bowl, a very iconic venue. And I've never seen posthumously so many souls gathered in one place to joyously celebrate someone's contribution to their life and to the world. It was truly humans being sacred and joyful at the same time together in the presence of music. I mean, so extraordinary stuff does happen, and then we jump back into our fears. We jump back into our worries about finances, our worries about health, our worries about politics, our worries about the state of the world. And when we fall into that, we are not, as Mary Baker Eddy said, standing porter at the door of thought, letting in those thoughts that are life-giving and life-enhancing, and closing our consciousness to those ideas that do not help us thrive, that do not increase our energy, do not cause us to be radiant, vibrant, and dynamic in terms of a soul on a journey, takes us out of awe and wonder and puts us into fear and doubt. So we want to turn away from fear and doubt and rise back into faith, that faith which knows that all things eventually will rise up, and that we have come to contribute to that rising up as our individuality in this lifetime. I came from the light, you came from the light, to contribute, to make a contribution to an awakening world, to make a contribution to the dawning of the interconnectedness of all life, to the realization there's no such thing as a disconnected anything. Everything is connected through what it turns out is the field of creation, which quantum science has revealed that the place of consciousness that emanates the I am presence, that emanates my belonging to the universe, is a place in consciousness that can change the world. And each one of us is there. We have arrived at that place. And we might think, well, I'm just being a simple soul shedding light in the world. Well, congratulations. You found your way into that which is your life's mission. That so many of us came at this time to be a place where we'd wake up to the unity of all life, that we would wake up to the fact that we dance with the cosmos as if God loves each of us, as if there was only one of us. We are each one so important in the realization of the glory of the Most High as our lives. And the more we do that, one day as we're strolling through the commons, the light may come upon us, and we will see things as they really are, in their glory and magnificence, because our soul has been gazing at that glory and magnificence all along. And when our consciousness shrinks back down because we are walking in the earth as the earth, at one with humanity and the earth, we realize, chop wood, carry water. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, the laundry. And yet we are carrying an awareness into the world that is healing, that is transformative, that is meaningful, that is powerful beyond measure. And that's what waking up is all about. Waking up to the reality that I am one with the one, and that I can attune myself through my daily practice to be a place of peace, to be a place of love, to be a place that closes the door on negativity and fear and doubt and replaces it with that which is an appreciation for the life force within me, for the love and beauty. We were born to have fun living, to consciously commune with the power that is within and around us, and to grow and expand forever, to become more and more aware of the Christ, the Atman, the Buddha, the high self of yourself, and to realize that that gift of life is not only a gift to you, it's a gift through you to the rest of life. And that's what we're going to work on this week. If the National Day of Prayer in this country is lift up the world, light up the world, let us lift up ourselves and be that place of light that we know we are in the world. I'm Harry Morgan Moses. You're watching Coffee with Casper. If you've gotten anything valuable from this video, we ask you to share it. Share it on LinkedIn, share it on Facebook, go to YouTube, like, follow, invite people to come see it. Share it on your emails. Go to the YouTube. You can share it from YouTube very easily. Find ways to invite people to join us to be part of the transmutation of the race consciousness, the enlightenment of the world, and the fulfillment of our own path in joy and love and beauty and wisdom and freedom and abundant good. Who you are is something magnificent. Vibe up this week. Make more room for the light in your light. Make more room to be a healer. Make more room to be a place of transmutation, of peace, of poise, of balance, and of harmony. We are the right people at the right time, and I appreciate you. It's been a joy to be with you in this day. We will be together because we're vibrating together, and we're inviting all those who are conscious of the unity of all life and the power of the I am that I am to heal, uplift, inspire, and bring forth more light. May peace prevail on earth, and may the goodness of your soul be reflected in all that is your life this week. Until we meet again, we invite you to go in the light, as the light, and with the light. May the long-time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you on your way. We'll see you next week on Coffee with Casper. Come on up, Casper. There he is. It's been a joy to be with you. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.